Basics of functions and their graphs. Well, first, what is a function? A function is a set of ordered pairs, like 2, 3, 4, -1, 0, 9. As long as you can determine whether or not it's a function, as long as you can't plug in a value for x one time and get 8, and then the next time and get -4. In other words, whenever you plug in that one value for x, you would, like in this case, it would be 2, well, you would get 3. 4, you'd get -1. 0, you'd get 9. You could even get the same points again, and it's still a function. But if you had, like, let's say 5, -2, 5, +2, 8, 7, notice how you can't plug in 5 and get -2 and 5 and get +2. Like, let's change that to a 5, just so, because let's say my function was y equals x minus 3. Notice how 5 minus 2, or I'm sorry, 5 minus 3 is 2. 8 minus 3 is 5. If I plugged in 10, 10 minus 3 is 7. So see, all of those would be part of this function, and you also can use the notation f of x. Well, notice how I can't plug in 5 and get -2 if I plugged in 5 to get 2. So that's what makes this one not a function. Now, if I just had those three, I'm good. But that one point made it not a function. In other words, if you had 7, 2, 7, 3, not a function. But notice how up here, same exact point is okay. You can also test to see whether or not it's a function by doing a vertical line test. Because notice how if you went over 7 up 2, over 7 up 3, see how you have those 2 points? It doesn't pass the vertical line test. You could have it's called a slanted or oblique line. You're good. Parabolas, up or down, you're good. Now, if you had a sideways parabola, no. If you had a circle, no. If you had a vertical line, no. Horizontal line, yes. So that's vertical line test. You could even have, we'll do square root, still okay, passes the vertical line test. You could even have another one coming over here, still yes. So that's the first part. The second part has to do with you can evaluate functions at certain points. Make sure I'm all lined up here. For instance, function notation is just f of x. So if I had this and I wanted you to find f of 2, all you do is plug in. So 2 plus 5, 7. So f of 2 equals 7. You could say, what about if g of x is x squared minus 1, and you wanted to find g of 5? 5 squared minus 1, 24. What about if they said find f of 3x? That just means literally replace this right there, because this is a function of x. So that tells you x is your variable you're replacing. So if you plugged in this, it would just be 3x plus 5. Now notice how if I did g of 3x, that would be 3x squared minus 1. So 9x squared minus 1. Let's even say h of x is 2x minus 10, and I wanted to find h of 4y. You're literally going to replace the 4y in there, so 2 times 4y minus 10, so 8y minus 10. Even if, let's say, you wanted to do, let's say h of x plus 3, you would literally replace, just like before, the x plus 3 in for x. So 2 times x plus 3 minus 10. So distribute, do a little bit of simplifying, 2x minus 4. Now you do have to be careful on those, because let's say that I wanted to find g of x plus 2. Make sure I'm not running out of space over here. Notice how since it's squared, that means the FOIL method. So x plus 2 times x plus 2, x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4, or you could do the shortcut. Remember, that is square the first, square the last, multiply those, and it's doubled, 4x. And the reason why it's not 4 on the end is because when you brought down the 1, that's why it was 3. So that is evaluating it at points when you plug in. Now, let's say for the last thing, you want to look at the graph and you want to see what it is. Well, let's say, let me put some points in to make it a little bit more specific. Let's say I got this line, and I want you to find f of 3. Well, this means x is 3, so basically they're wanting you to say 3 what? So what's your coordinate? So at 3, 1, 2, 3, x-axis, where's your graph? Positive 2. If they said find f of negative 1, x is negative 1, y is 0. And over here you could have just said 2. Because that is the point, negative 1, 0. If they said find f of 2, well, notice how on my graph especially, it's not exact. I think any I gave you, it would be more exact, but it's a little bit up between 1 and 2. Because the ones actually in the book that they'll give you are like so. So like this one, if you wanted to find f of 3, there's 3, you go up 1. Or even one like this, f of negative 2 crosses negative 3. So looking at the graph, it can look kind of complicated, but that's all you're doing. Think of what is the ordered pair. Like if x is 2, because that's always your x, if x is 2, find your y. So what's that coordinate? We'll say 1.5, just to, but I hope this was of help to you. See you soon.